Welcome to Conversations. I'm Suresh Kochatal. In the shifting sands of Indian politics, few states tell a story as dramatically as Bihar. The state that shaped national coalitions, broke seasoned politicians, and often predicted the mood of the Hindi heartland, has once again delivered a verdict, a loud, unmistakable one. A verdict that has not only given the NDA a sweeping three-fourths majority, its best performance since 2010, but has also reshaped the national political conversation overnight. Welcome to the show. Today, we're diving deep into what really happened in Bihar and what it really means for Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and for the double engine Sarkar narrative for the NDA coalition, and perhaps most importantly, for the Congress party and its leadership crisis that refuses to end. Because this time, the echoes from Bihar are not stopping at Patna. They are reverberating through the political corridors in Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, and Hyderabad, and many other cities. And yes, it is also reverberating in 24 Akbar Road as well. To understand this moment, you have to go back to the beginning of the campaign. The NDA walked into this election like a family that had made peace with its internal quarrels. Unified messaging, shared platforms, blurred boundaries between big allies and small ones. The so-called symbols divide didn't matter anymore. What mattered was a collective pitch, double engine, development, delivery. Smaller partners, often overlooked in footnotes in political narratives, stepped into the spotlight this time, like Chirag Paswan, Manchi, and others. They didn't just campaign, they contributed substantially, visibly, and then the Mahagathbandhan launched its high-octane offensive. For weeks, it revolved around just one phrase, vote chori, an allegation aimed directly at Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. But if history teaches us anything, it is this: certain slogans backfire. Just like Rahul Gandhi's famous Chaukidar Chor Hai, that became a turning point in the year 2019. That year's acquisition boomeranged. Instead of denting Prime Minister's credibility, it ignited BJP's cadre on the ground and helped consolidate the NDA's vote base. And when the votes were counted on 14th of November, the political map told a story no one could ignore. A spectacular performance, a renewed mandate, a clear endorsement of the double engine Sarkar plank. And of course, amid all these celebrations, a question surfaced, whispered in TV studios, murmured in political WhatsApp group, and finally spoken aloud. Will Rahul's route put Congress on a new route? Because one thing seems to be certain: Rahul Gandhi does not accept election results easily. Not in 2014, not in 2019, not in the state elections that followed. He is in fact close to a record century in electoral defeats. And Bihar has been no different. Rahul called the results surprising. He said the election was not fair from the beginning. But what about his own party? Many senior functionaries weren't willing to echo that line. Their response was blunt: look within, accept reality. And of course, that alone tells you how deep the fracture has become. If NDA's rise was one story in Bihar, the Congress's collapse was another. A collapse that many in the party feared and yet couldn't prevent. The Congress did not just underperform, it shrank and sank to a single digit, a number that now feels symbolic of its shrinking footprint across India. This wasn't just a bad day for Congress. This was just another chapter in the decade-long decline that began in 2014, a cycle of defeats resignations, dissent, and defections that the party has never managed to break. And Bihar, it has opened every new wound. One senior leader after another has begun to speak, some publicly, others privately, all with one sentiment: this cannot continue. Just listen to some voices. Mumtaz Patel, remember her? The daughter of the late redoubtable Ahmed Patel, a name that once anchored Congress's political strategy. She posted on X, "It's time to look within and accept reality. Failure after failure, because power remains concentrated in the hands of a few who are disconnected from the ground. These same people keep getting rewarded because they have made themselves indispensable." This wasn't a criticism. It was a warning, an alarm bell. And then, of course, we have MP Shashi Tharoor, never one to hold back the moment, and it demands a honest statement. And he said, "Our leaders must do serious analysis of where things went wrong, how the organization functions." And then there was Digvijay Singh, the veteran, the party veteran, who emphasized what political success truly requires. Elections are about intensive public contact at the booth level. And everyone knows that Congress does not have that. That's for sure. In fact, a sharp contrast to the high command centric approach that has hollowed Congress's grassroots machinery. Even D.K. Shivkumar, Karnataka's powerful state and deputy chief minister, called for a completely new strategy. On the other hand, P. Chidambaram blamed the voters of Bihar for the disaster. That was sort of expected. This was not a routine post-election chatter. This was a collective cry for introspection. And perhaps the tragedy lies here. Just months ago, after the 2024 Lok Sabha election, the Congress seemed to have regained some of its dignity. It hadn't won, but it had fought. It showed energy, resilience, and structure. But that moment of resurgence, it evaporated quickly. In Haryana, they lost. In Maharashtra, they lost, despite expectations of a strong performance. In Jammu and Kashmir, they registered a dismal tally. And Delhi, they just disappeared in the fight between BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. And now, Bihar, where they were expected to at least support the alliance narrative effectively, and Congress and Rahul Gandhi fell flat. Every loss chips away the party's morale. Every setback raises new questions. Every silence from the leadership creates a deeper void. The irony is unmistakable. Congress is now a fringe player in Bihar. It does not command the large vote banks. It does not define the state's political identity. And yet, its brand power as the anti-national BJP alternative was meant to fuel the RJD-led opposition, the foundation from which the Mahagathbandhan was supposed to launch its challenge. But that didn't happen. The Congress was expected to play the role it played successfully in Jharkhand last year. The stable, reliable junior partner delivering in key states. But in Bihar, the party slipped badly. From 19 seats it won in 2020, out of the 71 they had contested, the tally this time fell to single digits, just 6 seats. The decline was not just statistical, it was narrative shaping. Because in coalition politics, perception is everything. And the perception now is that the Congress is becoming a liability, not an asset, especially in tightly contested state elections. The question is, what happens next? Where does Congress go from here? We are hearing murmurs. Some leaders are waiting for the right moment. Some are questioning whether the party can continue with the same strategy and the same leadership. Same messaging is coming out now. There is a talk of an internal overhaul. There's a talk of empowering state units. There's a talk of reducing high command interference. But we heard this all before. After 2014, after 2019, after Rajasthan, Punjab, Chhattisgarh, Karnataka, which they won, by the way, and now, of course, Haryana and Maharashtra and Delhi. The difference this time lies in the volume. The calls are louder, the anger is more public, and the patience, especially among the ground workers, is wearing thin. Because they are the ones who toil on the ground. They are the ones who stand in the sun, fight on the streets, and defend their party in the mohallas and the wards. And now they too are beginning to ask the question, how long? In fact, at the national level, the Bihar verdict strengthens BJP's strategic confidence. The double engine narrative works. Allies matter, and attacks on Prime Minister Modi, unless grounded in policy, facts, and alternative vision, may not land. Rahul Gandhi should know this better. For the opposition, Bihar raises existential questions, especially because 2024 had given them hope, a sense that the battle ahead may be balanced. But Bihar has reminded everyone that hope without strategy is not enough. Emotion without organization is not enough. And slogans without structure never wins elections. The story of Bihar is not just the story of an election. It's a story of a political system realigning itself, of a ruling alliance rediscovering its rhythm, and of an opposition, particularly the Congress, struggling to define its role in a changing India. The results are out, the numbers are final, but the political impact, this story is being written as we are here to follow every chapter that will follow from here on. Keep watching. Jai Hind.